We're gonna do a little interesting presentation, so please don't sleep, okay? As you can see, we have a blank slide here. Why is it blank? Because we want you to clear your mind so you can understand all the concepts we're gonna explain.
So, before we start, I have an image here. You may have noticed that we've not even stated the name of our presentation yet. So, looking at this image, can you guess what stage of the materials economy we are going to discuss? Exactly, extraction. You've probably heard this word a lot, but what does it actually mean? Extraction is basically the process in which one or more components are separated from a liquid or a solid mixture.
You may be wondering though, why are we discussing this at all? I mean, we don't face extraction in our daily lives, do we? Why is this relevant? But the thing is, according to the definition of extraction, it's just separating something, a substance, from a mixture. So it's not necessarily taking something from the soil. It's not only farmers who do this. So if you're at home, you're, taking a banana and you're peeling it at home, it's already extraction. You're already doing extraction in your daily lives. And why is this important to us? Oh, it's really important to us because the problems that we face in this stage of the materials economy, it affects us directly, whether we want it or not. And we have a lot of problems, the problems that we're going to discuss later, but we have a lack of solutions. This is causing people to pretend not to know about these problems, and because of that, we remain stationary. We don't develop. So today, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up your seatbelts because we are going to give you a solution so each and every one of you school leaders can make the world a better place.
The thing is that we don't actually know what problems we have because they are mainly caused by farmers growing food. For example, in Vietnam, 50% of rice waste happens during extraction stage, but we just don't see it directly. Therefore, we don't know what is actually happening. We don't know how big the overproduction problem is. We don't know how much ugly food is wasted. And we don't know how much it affects us and our environment.
Another aspect we should have a look at are the environmental problems. So, the most known problem is the deforestation. A lot of trees are cut down in order to create more space for our fields. Furthermore, many greenhouse gases are produced during extraction. Guys, one cow produces as much CO2 as 10,000 people. 10,000 people, this is so much, and we really need to find a solution for that. In addition, we also have to think about the massive amount of fertilizers and pesticides farmers use. But why is this so bad? I can tell you. Fertilizers do not only nurture plants and crops, but also weeds and can pollute our water for decades, for example, nitrogen. These problems force us to think about a solution to produce our food environmentally friendly.
Hi, I'm Petra. Hey son, what's your favorite food?
I love noodles.
But do you actually know where they come from?
I have no idea.
As you can tell, we are often lacking information when it comes to extraction of food. Have you ever visited a farm?
Not really, but isn't it similar to a zoo?
Oh, no. But actually, that's the way some elementary school students in Finland think. According to a study, over 30% of the students have an incorrect vision about food making process. Especially students living in cities have this kind of problem, which leads to more wasteful behavior.
This lack of information leads people to lose their appreciation for food and keep wanting the perfect food, making farmers throw away tons of unwanted, ugly food. But why are students like us, the younger people, not aware of problems that happen in this very important stage? Why? It's because we think that we are not a part of this extraction step. I mean, it's the farmer's job, not ours, right? But what if we, the students, the younger generations, are the ones who actually extract our food? What if we change people's perspective so everyone knows that extraction is a process that we are all involved in? Our next speakers will give you a call to action that will solve the fundamental problem by involving each and every one of us in this extraction process.
Thank you, son. So are you guys still buckled up, or have you loosened up? If you have, then please fasten your seatbelt again. Open your eyes, listen carefully, because things are about to get bumpy. So here we go. As mentioned by our previous team members, the problems we're facing is that we lack the understanding of how big of a problem there is during extraction, and we don't know what the consequences it may cause to our environment. It all comes down to everyone's attitude towards food waste. So the question is, if everyone saw food waste as resource, would it still be considered trash? And would people take action to make a change? This will be answered by the rest of the team. Take it away, guys.
So we've been speaking a lot about what our solution is, but we haven't really described it. So we believe that if we can change the attitude that people have towards food waste, then we can begin to limit the food waste they produce. We want to target elementary school students and change their education so we can build their appreciation to what food waste really is and begin to change the societal views towards it.
We decided to act on children because, firstly, teaching them good values on food waste will help them to become more conscious about the environment, and this will reduce the problem. Then, historically, schools have proven a good starting point. For example, in Australia, the government implemented a seatbelt safety program in school that increased the number of people that wear it. Lastly, we feel that children are more relatable to us, so we find really realistic and helpful to target them because we know how they think.
So what can you as school leaders do to help this situation? Firstly, we think that if you don't already have one, we think you should start a student-led team that focuses on environmental issues and is instrumental in helping start some of our next ideas. Secondly, if you don't already have one, we think you should start a school garden. It is something that can help students really understand how food is made and that not all food is perfect. And we have seen through our own schools that when you do implement a school garden, the food waste that students produce decreases. Secondly, we think that if your school does not have a composting system, it is another thing that allows students to realize that food waste isn't just garbage. It's actually a resource that can be used in other products such as composting. And finally, we think you should be proactive. Ask your students what they want to know about food waste, what they don't already know. Your students will be able to help you figure out what you need to do to change and make them understand food waste.
You may be skeptical of a few things. First of all, if there is a lack of understanding from the teachers, we believe it would be a great idea to create an information poll or seminar in order to increase understanding. Secondly, if there is a lack of enthusiasm from students, creating field trips to farms or greenhouses will create excitement.
Moreover, if there are minimal resources at your school, you can start small by creating a garden patch or simply raising awareness. Lastly, if you think this will not work in your weather conditions, it would be helpful to research how food is grown in your area or simply encourage children to be more conscious about food waste.
So, our problem is, as you might know, the huge amount of food waste at the extraction stage.
But, Isis, what do you mean by food waste? Like, how much? Like, this much? Or this much? Ooh, or this much?
That is way too much.
Oh, so you mean something more like this?
Yes, definitely.
So, our solution to these landfills of food waste is to change the attitude that people have towards food waste.
And in order to change these minds, we chose to target children by teaching them that food waste is a resource and not trash.
This will work because children don't have any preconceptions about what food waste is or isn't, and historically schools have been a good place to start a change in mindset. Spread food, not waste!
So from the start, creating the seminar, we had a lot of difficulties in trying to figure out how we could apply it to a school situation and make it something that we could take back home and action in our area. So through a lot of hard brainstorming and hard work and help from teachers and everyone inputting ideas, we finally came up with our solution to make extraction something that elementary school students could see, and we hope that when we do take our solutions home, that we can all action them and actually change our schools for the better and teach everyone something. Yeah, thank you.